Jane. As summer draws to a close, new and exciting things happen to a lot of people. Kids and teachers go back to school. It's good to get them off the street. Our Jewish residents will be welcoming in a new year, and a whole lot of new faces have showed up at Cedarfield. As an ex-educator and an established resident here, my advice, get up, get involved, become part of the family. You'll be happier. And never forget the honesty, generosity, and glow of Dolly Parton. Amy.
So as many of you know, I'm a New Yorker originally before I became a Virginian. And last night, the governor of New York and the mayor ensured that the Empire State Building was lit up with pink and I think orange lights for Dolly Parton. If you didn't know, it happened at exactly 9:25. So I said to my husband, 9:25, that's kind of odd. 9 to 5. So very clever, I thought. So anyway, wanted to share that. I know a lot of you have liked Dolly Parton over the years, and I think what's amazing about her, it doesn't matter what age you are, there is definitely an admiration, and future generations, I'm sure, will feel the same way. Quick report for you today. Census in independent living is 317. We have many families moving in over the next few months. Excuse me. As of today, we have 4 families that are approved for move-in and 11 that are in process going through medical assessments, cognitive assessments, as well as financial assessments. We also have some residents who are transitioning from independent living to assisted living over the next month or so. Cedarfield continues to have great interest of prospects on the outside who want to live here. Just a reminder, in case you have friends who are considering Cedarfield, that our cognitive testing is a little bit more stringent than other communities. So if someone is not sure that they want to live here right now and putting it off, I would encourage them to consider to move sooner than later. The next thing on my list is external door locks. Denise, our facilities director, and I have met with our safety committee to go through some ideas about some of our outside doors that don't have locks currently. You know, it's a double-edged sword. We want residents to be safe and we want doors to be locked, but we want also for residents who don't have their fobs, especially in excessive heat or cold, to be able to have access to the building. So this is something that we'll discuss with the safety committee, and we'll look to them for recommendations and provide you with more information once a decision has been made. An update on our flood. We're making great progress in repairing damaged areas associated with the flood. We estimate an additional 2 to 3 weeks of work and 2 to 3 weeks of time until those who have been relocated from memory care are able to go back to their apartments. All flooring has been addressed, and the team is now focusing on sheetrock and painting and making great progress. The maintenance suite is also experiencing some sheet work and also some attention in restorations from the flood. So more to come with that, but we're happy with the pace that the contractors are making and look forward to allowing residents to go back to their apartments. Wellness building meeting. If you haven't already put this on your calendar, please plan on joining us tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock here in the Fellowship Hall for a very informative meeting. Architects from SFCS, a longtime partner with Cedarfield, will be here to review some exciting preliminary plans for an expanded art studio, brain fitness venue, and additional multi-purpose area. Once general information has been shared, we look forward to including residents into the planning of this space for both physical plans as well as programmatic plans. So please consider joining us tomorrow, again at 11. Town hall meeting change for September. We will be changing the town hall meeting to the 9th of September at 2 o'clock. We'll place a reminder on channel 974 early next week so that you know that if you haven't made note of it today. Lastly, from me, I will be conducting a CARF survey for most of next week in Naples, Florida. The community that I am visiting is considered a luxury retirement community. I'm sure that they will not compare with Cedarfield, but will be happy to share my experiences and some great things that I might learn from that community when I get back. As many of you know, Cedarfield is also accredited by CARF. CARF accredits continuing care retirement communities throughout the United States and in some countries in Europe. And our next survey with CARF is scheduled for January of 2028. And believe it or not, we will probably start planning for that visit in 2028 within the next few months. So more to come about CARF and Cedarfield. And next, I'd like to ask Denise Arnold to come up and share some information about our pond.
Just one quick update on the pond. The electrician is running the wires for the fountain, and that is due to be completed by the end of this month. And by mid-September, we should have our long overdue installed fountain in the pond. So that's all I have.
Nancy Miller.
The Cedar Chest has been open 3 times since my last report in July, and we took in a total of $1,650.50. We had the auction last week, and from that we made $1,317.98. And as most of you know, we had ice cream treats last week for all the residents and the team workers to thank them for their support of the Cedar Chest, and that seemed to be very well received. We're planning on another furniture auction, which will be in the former poker room on the 2nd floor, right around near the Cedar Chest, and that is going to begin on September the 1st. Tomorrow we'll receive donations as usual between 10 and 11:30. The next opening for sales will be on September the 3rd. And mark your calendars, it'll be a half-price sale on all summer clothing. So.
At the ice cream truck, this cute little boy told me he had cookies and cream, and then they ran out, but he got his, so that was good. Denise?
First of all, as always, I want to thank everybody for supporting the shop. We couldn't be as successful as we are without you. I want to encourage everybody to come and see what we have. We are really getting in a lot of new things, getting ready, believe it or not, for the holidays. So all the winter holidays, we are getting in new merchandise, and it's really, really exciting. Again, thank you, and come and see what we have.
Sally Wood.
I didn't mean to rush you. Coming up September the 18th for VACRA will be a speaker from the University of Richmond who's in the professor of finance. His name is Art Dervev, and he will give a presentation entitled "In Bitcoin We Trust, Digital Money, Real Market." And he has his PhD from the University of Michigan. A few people here have gone to Michigan too. Now, cryptocurrency is not like regular currency in that it's not issued by a government and it's not managed by banks. It operates without any central authority and uses a digital ledger called a blockchain. And being that none of us really know what Bitcoin is, period, it'll be nice to find out what blockchain is, what that technology is, what it involves. And he'll talk about major types of cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin. And everything is perfect with VACRA, going well.
Thank you for being our secretary today, George. Do we have a quorum? Thank you. Are there any additions or subtractions to the minutes as they were distributed? Do I hear a motion to approve? All in favor? All opposed? I'd like to change a little of the agenda today because I'd like to call first on Louisa Rucker to make her report.
Good afternoon. I'm here to announce my resignation as chairman of the Flower Guild effective September 1st. The last 8.5 years have been absolutely filled with joy. When I began, the Flower Committee had 6 people making 2 fresh arrangements a week. Currently, the Flower Guild has 26 members, creates 18 arrangements each week, and maintains them and keeps them beautiful all week long. 4 teams take responsibility for the flowers 1 week a month. These people are my family. I am so proud of them and their dedication to keeping Cedarfield beautiful, as well as for their skills and friendships. I am waiting on tiptoe to see who will be the next chairman of the committee. Would the Flower Guild members are here, please stand up for a minute. They do such a fine job over and over again. As for you, I want to thank you for your wonderful support for the Flower Guild, your enthusiasm and your support of the flowers, including letting us create arrangements for your special occasions where we can help celebrate what is dear to your hearts. The arrangements that tell a story have been my very favorites. In the time to come, the resident council will be well served by our new Flower Guild representative to the Flower Committee, Flower Guy Robert Ortiz, right there, who will definitely, who will keep you informed of what is going on with the Flower Guild. Thank you all for just all your kindnesses.
Oh, no. 8.5 years, imagine. Well, when you all came, you and Eldon both got totally involved in Cedarfield. And he became president of the Residents Council. And you know where she's been and what she's been doing all these years, and all the people she's trained. And I remember when I came for my interview, walking in and how beautiful the flowers were and what a mood it sets here for everybody and all the people that she has trained. She's not going anywhere, but we love you and we thank you. This is for you. William. And in case you want to go somewhere, we have a strip of transportation tickets for you also.
That is among one of the reasons I'm stepping back right now. Time is going so darn fast. I want to use these. I've seen them for years.
Well, it's interesting that Jane used it, and you see someone like Louisa saying, please get involved. My subject today is succession. I have some figures I think you'll find interesting. As of June 26, 2026, and from 2025 to June 2026, we have had 86 new residents. At the end of this year, 2026, we will have over 100, and 20% of our membership will be here less than 2 years. And what that says to me is, this is your home, this is my home, and it's important to get involved, and everybody has the same rights to do it. So please look around. Take your agenda home, because it shows you who's chairing committees and who's the area reps. And maybe those are things that you'd like to learn more about and get involved with. So continuity is very important. And Paul and I have already started for the new year to work on getting new chairs, or chair-elects, as I call them, for the new people who will be chairing different committees. But think about it now, don't wait, and do get involved. Dining services, Jim.
Thank you, Helen. Good afternoon. Dining had its meetings last week, and let me bring you up on several projects. The lounge, which has been a matter of interest for, let's just say, over 2 years. I'm told that the furnishings for it are expected to be selected and ordered in the first quarter, calendar quarter. I will add, though, that there seems to be a bit of concern as to the location. And I am heartened by the interest that seems to be rather broad among the residents, that it be in an inviting location, not to the side, where many are expressing a concern that it is of negligible interest. When the survey was conducted, seeking your impressions, desires, a couple of years ago. It was obviously favorably by 2/3 vote of the residents who voted on it to so-called sponsor it. And that was roughly of 60% who responded. So I think it was, and I think you would agree, that it was a representative group expressing their interest and concern. I have not brought any photographs today. I was tempted to do it, but then I thought, just slow down, Jim. Enough is enough. But I have been to several of our fellow or sister communities in Central Virginia, and I must say that their lounges are quite inviting. And it's a spot or spots in their respective locations where people assemble not only for a drink before dinner, but just to sit and chat or to introduce a new resident to some mutual friends who might not have spoken or acknowledged them having moved. Anyhow, we envision, those on dining, envision it to be a conducive to extend our welcome area prospectively. And we will probably stay very involved in this process until it is resolved. Just a comment on the clubhouse pond. As was earlier mentioned, the fountain is expected to be installed shortly. And the reason dining has any interest or concern here is, as you might imagine or recall, it's because of the clubhouse and its location and its presentation, if you will, for outdoor dining, et cetera, to all of us residents and for actual usage by us under contract if we wish to have a little party or celebration or birthday or whatever have you. I must say that dining does a heck of a job when a function is located there. Relative to dining, as you know, we have a new director, Stephen Perez. If you haven't met him yet, please, if you see him around, introduce yourself. He's a very pleasant chap. He's already got 2 new cooks, and he's got tweaks in mind for menus and dishes already. And so he's landed with both feet firmly on the ground, but moving. On destination dining, I'd like to report Steve Gislin just handed me at our meeting this past week a recap of essentially the plans for the next year, 12 months or so. To the pleasure of some, Low Country was retired. Paris maintained its mystique and lure and continues as the favorite. Work is being done to develop Southeastern Asian, think of Thai, Vietnam, etc. And there has been considerable comment across the board about what Cancun Kitchen is, and that's also being studied and worked. So I encourage you to continue in the sense of if something is really appealing to you and you feel like we are missing somewhere, please think back to when we first started this and develop a menu for some destination that you think might be appealing to the community. Stephen has indicated they're more than receptive to it. And obviously, we do enjoy change, and we do enjoy, may like to have something new for a change from time to time. So please step forward when you feel comfortable, hand him a menu, and I swear he will study it and consider it. One little item, the harvest table, the Four Seasons table in the dining area, we've been trying to figure out what to do with that. It can be or should be a welcoming location for new residents, which was one of the intentions of it when it was originally set up. I think one of the issues with it, however, is it's awkward. It's too tall, it's too large, and so it's going to go under study, if you will, and hopefully we will incorporate it in a much more inviting manner and use it better. So expect some, I'm going to use the term, construction there. I'm not sure whether it's going to be destruction or construction, but something's going to happen. Pat Sullivan was going to be here to, is she here? Yeah. Oh, can I call on you to Ozzy us? And I also, as she's wending her way forward, wish to introduce you to her as Chair-elect to follow Helen's.
To follow you.
Anyhow, if you would.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Can I ask a quick question?
Sure. I'm,
When you were describing it, you described the harvest table.
yeah.
And the Four Seasons table is the big round one.
Yes. Well, both of them are being studied for a purpose, location, size, et cetera.
Thank you.
So I'm sorry if that was confusing.
First, I want to thank Jim for his years of leadership of the Dining Committee. A lot of very important new initiatives, as I know you all know, were created during this time, not the least of which was destination dining. So I would like to give him a big thank you. I've brought Ozzy with me today so that he and I could also thank all of you for your great support in making our transition to Go Green Takeout a smooth and easy one. Our greatest concern as we were developing the program was whether enough green containers would be returned in a timely manner so that there would be a constant supply to be sent out from takeout. Well, the kitchen tells me that you are doing an excellent job and that they are not having any problem with their supply. So again, a big thank you to all of you for a job well done. But even when something is going well, there are always ways to improve. So on August 13, some members of the Dining Committee and members of the Go Green Subcommittee attended the area reps meeting to get suggestions from residents in their areas about any improvements that could be made to the system. We got some very good ideas. The reps not only conveyed some residents' concerns, but also made some great suggestions as to how these concerns could be met. I thought I would share just a few with you. Concern. Since the green containers are only rinsed out, we are putting dirty containers into our blue carry bags that we put our clean food into. So people felt that was a valid concern, but the suggestion was to line your blue bag with a small plastic bag that can be changed out whenever you need to. So I thought that was a pretty good idea. Another concern was about the plastic square containers and the paper products with lids that are not green, the things that come to you but are not in the green containers. And people were wondering if they were recyclable. Could they put them in the recycling? And Steve tells me that if they have the number 1 imprinted on it, that it is recyclable. Some of them will have a number 6, and that evidently is not. That's the extent of my recycling knowledge, but I think that's correct. And this was a very good one. When people who are short or in a scooter chair or managing a rollator come to the atrium counter to pick up their food, the bag is too high for them to manage placing the food into it. So immediately, I mean, in less than 24 hours, Atrium has a low table across from the counter with a sign for this purpose. So hopefully that is completely resolved. Steve is looking into having a similar sort of loading zone in the grill, so you can look for that. In general, the consensus seemed to be that the program was going well and that most people were very supportive. So, Ozzy and I would like to leave you with just a few reminders. Please do not microwave in the green containers. Liddell says that it blisters them and shortens their usable life, and that he can tell when they come in when they've been microwaved. So, please do not eat out of the green containers for the same reason. This is as you cut into them with a knife. This can also shorten their lifespan. And remember to bring your blue bag and use containers just like you have been when you come to take out for pickup. Do you have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment on the recycling. Frank Miller, Irene Caperton, and myself are working on a recycling presentation with our recycling company, and we hope that that will be done in November. And we will have a table demonstrating what can and cannot be recycled at Cedarfield. The company that we use, every recycling company has their own rules. And the good news is we met with a representative from there this past week, and the number system that we're used to using is going to go away because nobody can see the numbers because they're too small anyway. So we're going to look at a different way to recycle properly, what can properly be recycled, and more information on that will come. We will be having a table that will demonstrate and have lots of different things on there to show what can and cannot be recycled. So stay tuned for more information.
It sounds
on that.
like a great idea.
Yeah, I think we'll have that in November.
Okay. Anybody else?
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you both, and know that people who are designated to take over will start the March 1st as usual. So you will be seeing all of us around, and hopefully you will be joining all of us. Next, I'd like to call on the Pinnacle Living Board Representative, Dan Balfour, to speak to us today.
Did you see I had a half hour?
We don't even have a half.
I think I've got about 1 minute then. I'm the new member of the Pinnacle Living Town Council representing the village of Cedarfield. As far back as 2011, Press Rowe, who was a former chairman of this council, went to a commission in the state to ask that residents be available to the board of the community centers around the state. Even as late as 2022, this council unanimously voted to have a resident be a voting member of the council. Well, finally, we got a seat at the table. I'm going to be sitting in that seat. I don't know when they're having their first meeting, but after their first meeting, I'll be glad to report back. I don't expect that we'll do much more than listen. That's what I intend to do. If they ask my opinion, being a lawyer and a judge, I'd be glad to give it. If they don't, I will listen to what they have to say and report back to you. Hopefully this new communication with the board will benefit both the board and us. Thank you.
Dan will be giving us an update at each meeting and will also be giving us a written report that will go in with the minutes. Facilities, Ann Williams.
Amy and Denise talked a little bit about the storm damage that did about $1 million worth of damage. And the main change to the residents was that 8 of our memory care residents had to be moved from their unit because it got flooded. So they are looking forward to going back to their natural home in about 3 weeks, and that'll be good. A sign has been placed on Channel 974 ever since the flood, which is about a month ago. There are signs on the plastic doors into the damaged area saying, please do not enter this area. Some of you continue to enter the area, however, despite being asked not to. It is dangerous. There is slick paper on the floor that could cause you to fall. There are sharp edges which could cause you to get hurt. Cedar Field does not want people being hurt. If you have any questions about this, I would suggest you pick up a mirror, look in it, and the person you see is the one that should not be entering the damaged area. Keep out. Another thing that was in the works was the kiln, and as soon as the residents get back to their areas, then Cedar Field will be working on the kiln for those of you in the art area that want your projects fired. Most of us in the building were not inconvenienced except for the first day or two when some elevators weren't working, so we haven't seen that much damage, but there was plenty of it. A huge thank you is due to all of the members of the maintenance team, the healthcare team, and all of the administrators who have done a yeoman job, particularly in those first few days, but ever since, of working hard with the contractors to get us back to normal. The swimming pool recently had its evaporator coil replaced, and that took care of the temperatures in the pool, but the air temperatures have not been good. Cedar Field talked to the architect of the pool, who said Cedar Field can tweak the temperatures until condensation appears on the windows, so the air temperatures are now being watched carefully and being tweaked by the team. But this should be getting you back to your swimming, so I hope you're heading on back to the pool. Any questions? Thank you.
Finance, Carol.
The Finance Committee met on July 28th to discuss the financial results of the 12 months, which ended on May 31st, 2026. We reviewed the Cedar Field Statement of Activities, the Cedar Field Capital Expenditures, and HCRC statements. David Taylor reviewed these first statements of activities and compared them year-to-date and budget. The total operating revenue was 4% above budget, and so were the total operating expenses. So it gave us the net operating income, which was very close to budget at $5 million. I am going to be attaching to the minutes the Cedarfield statement so that you can see all the actual numbers. In the non-operating section, they were 19% below budget, as expenses were offset by contributions and investment income. So our total change to net assets was $2.2 million and above budget. So for the fiscal year 2026, we were successful and very, very close to budget. All right, capital projects. These do not show up on the income statement. They show up on the balance sheet, which we're given only for Pinnacle as a group. But Cedarfield's capital projects totaled $8.5 million for the year. The highest were resident renovations, followed by window replacements and building renovations. In the HCRC, which is another entity of the Pinnacle Combined Group, they showed assets of $68 million and liabilities of $4.8 million. So we had a net asset of $63.2. Now these funds are available for use of any of the group, as well as the purchase of new facilities. So this is a reserve fund, which is extremely important for someone like us or any other group to have that backup when unfortunate things happen. So this is very critical. Kevin Salomon of Pinnacle, he answered questions that the committee had, and they certainly had some, obviously, for the Pinnacle Combined Group. And that Pinnacle Combined Group is those four Hermitage groups, the Richmond, the Roanoke, the Three Chop, the Deep Run. There are four, and Cedarfield's on that also, and the corporate office and Pinnacle Advantage program. I think the major concerns were on the newest acquisitions, the Hermitage Three Chop and the Hermitage Deep Run. The Three Chop, they've undergone renovations, and they expect full occupancy by the end of the first quarter of this coming fiscal year. So they look in much better shape. Deep Run is undergoing renovations, and they're going to be fairly expensive and do not expect really until show any positive income until 2028. So that's going to be further down the road. The Hermitage Roanoke and Hermitage Richmond were positive, but Roanoke has had and will continue to have concerns about occupancy. And they're constantly looking for new ways that they can improve this. So they do have a very good trust fund which helps support the Roanoke group and kept them positive. Another question in a totally different area was about cybersecurity cost. And Kevin stated that this was a concern for all businesses. It's imperative to protect all personnel, medical, and financial data for residents and team members. They're looking at this very closely, and the cost for data security are budgeted, and protections are in place. So we feel like they're going in the right direction in an area that's of great concern, I think, for all of us. And the other question, of course, is there's a potential new group they're looking at called Virginia Crossings, but it's under investigation. Nothing's been finalized. We'll be kept informed. Can't give you any more on it right now. And that was basically the major highlights of our meeting. Any questions?
How does the flood affect our bottom line? I'm thinking in terms of the $100,000 deductible plus the loss of revenue in Poppy Place because we can't rent the rooms and be paid by Medicaid.
You know, obviously, we're going to have to do some careful looking at the budget because it's logical to make some adjustments for anything unusual. But remember, it's also under capital. So it's not an ordinary operating expense. So it's going to be under the broad group expense total that Pinnacle will be presenting. But I do feel like that insurance, certainly we do have insurance, and that's a positive. And I think we have enough time to help make any adjustments that might be needed. And I tell you, after this year, watching them with the budget, I give them full credit. They have done a wonderful job. Things do change. That's normal. It happens. But when you look at the final results, the over-under came out the same, came out breaking even. So that's not bad. So I think we'll be all right. I don't feel too concerned right now, unless something else happens. I don't feel too concerned right now. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Gardening, no report. Health services,
the Healthcare Committee met on August the 12th, and much of our meeting was talking about the flood, so I'm not going to go back over that. But on a very high note, we finally had our Medicare inspection. I think it was about 3 years late. A team of about a dozen people arrived and were here for 3 days. And they looked in every corner, every crack, every drawer. And Cedarfield only had 2 citations. So this is quite remarkable. The average is about 15. One citation was a cardboard box outside of a dumpster, and the other citation was a food item that fell out of a plastic bag and was in the bottom of the freezer. So Medicare was pretty impressed with where we stood. Medicare does give star ratings to places like Cedarfield. You have to have 3 inspections. We've had 2 of the 3, which are mandatory. So hopefully after the 3rd one, we will know what our star rating is. The other news was we have an interim director of nursing, and this is Myra Sermon. She is from an agency. She worked here several years ago, and since she has been here, everything is running very smoothly on the healthcare side. Emily Hicks reported that they had a rep come. This is pretty exciting for rehab. They now have an electric raised toilet seat. So they're looking at that for one of the rehab rooms for somebody who might have recently had surgery, as far as raising and lowering it to make it easier for them to get up and down. The Healthcare Committee is sponsoring a presentation. It's the 24th of September. It's discussions, decisions, and documents. So we will have a lawyer here. We will have an advanced directive company here. There will be someone talking about hospice, what it is and what it is not. And we will be discussing what a DNR is and what a DNR is not. So that's at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I hope everybody will be able to attend. Any questions? 9/24/26.
and The quilts are being worked on, and we will be able to see one finished, I think, in September next month. Yeah. Library, Sally.
Well, on a light note, we will have Seniors Say the Darndest Things by Harry Baldwin for our library special program September 6th at 2 o'clock in the Fellowship Hall. Harry is a guy who's for 30 years worked in the marketing and management area of CCRCs, and he was in Alexandria as as executive director of Goodwin House Alexander. And it's funny, it's prophetic, it's respectful. And I have one copy, which is not being checked into the library because it doesn't fit any category. So I'll let anybody borrow it directly from me. He said at a luncheon that we had with Meredy Goldstein that he would bring 100 copies with him, so we'll see. But in the meanwhile, I have one copy, and it promises to be a lot of fun.
Denise gave safety's report, so welcoming Virginia.
I'm really honored to be among you accomplished people and all that you have done. And that's what makes this place a wonderful place. And that's what makes us want to continue to welcome people. And I'm very pleased that we have ambassadors that are doing a great job. And the exciting news that I'd like to say is that tonight there will be 29 people who will be attending our new guest welcoming dinner. And that's very exciting because we have motivated people and encouraged them. And these are all new people, and it's very exciting. So I'll let you know next week, next month, how it went. Last time, as I said, they stayed for 3 hours, so maybe this time they'll stay for 4.
Jane, do you have a report?
Just a very big thank you to all of you for your generosity as expressed in the campaign for finance and philanthropy. That's a big word. I taught science. I don't know that big stuff. And we will now continue to be able to help a lot of our team members because the requests come in fast and furiously. Thank you.
Nancy, Wellness and Leisure.
In keeping with Helen's request that the committee chairs begin to look for replacements, I will tell you that I've been chair of this committee this is my 3rd year, and the chair-elect of the Wellness and Leisure Committee is my friend and neighbor, Carolyn Thomas. So she will be taking over the responsibilities for that committee in March. We are continuing to update the resident-run club booklet. It's in its final edits. And when Katrin comes back from vacation, I anticipate that we'll be able to get that booklet printed and out to all the residents in September. And they would definitely be ready by the Pathways to Wellness Showcase that's going to be October 1st. From the creative arts area, I'd like you all to circle on your calendar September the 13th. The Arts Council will be having a Sunday Fun Day, and they are, on the 13th, members of the Arts Council will be helping residents make fused glass ornaments that are in the shape of snowmen and Christmas trees. And the participants will each make 2 ornaments at this workshop, and one they can keep and one they will be donating to the Arts Council for the for the sale that we'll be having over the holidays to support the Art Council. I'd like to point out to you that the Prima Dining Room now has a permanent art collection. In the past, there was rotating art that was placed on the walls there, but now the paintings up there are permanently installed. Also, there is a woman who, correct me if I'm wrong on this because I wasn't quite clear, by the name of Brenda Bickerstaff, who's a very well-known artist, and she worked here at one time. Okay. She worked here one time, and one of her pieces is now permanently displayed in the Prima Club Room. And just some highlights of September programs that I'd like you to please take note of is that on September the 23rd, we will be having a celebration of Cedar Field's 30th anniversary. And we will be having a big party here in the Fellowship Hall. It will not be, you will not have to sign up in advance. It's open to all the residents. And we will be having the very well-known and beloved Kings of Swing that will be entertaining us and allowing us to have some fun and dance. And as I alluded to earlier, Pathways to Wellness Showcase will be happening. We do this every 2 years, where we highlight all of the dimensions of the Pathways to Wellness program, which is how all of the activities here at Cedar Field are done. They are centered around these dimensions of Pathways to Wellness. There will be a workshop on September the 31st for prospective Cedar Field residents, where they can come here to Fellowship Hall, and there will be representatives for each dimension here demonstrating and showing them what activities are available within that dimension. And I'd like you to please circle October 1. That is the Pathways to Wellness showcase that will be here in Fellowship Hall for residents. And please come and visit with the team members and the residents who are in charge of these various pathways. Thank you. Any questions?
Just one more announcement. Lifestyles and Wellness has recently received a second color copy machine, and it's located right across from the mail room. You see it as you go by. If you're copying things for your committee meetings or need to use it, please use that one rather than the one in administration. And you won't miss it. There's no unfinished business. There's no new business. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Thank you. 1 minute.